How's it going, nerds? This is the first installment of my weekly powerlifting series where I document my mediocre attempt to be a powerlifter. Little recap, I've been lifting weights for quite a while. I've competed in powerlifting 2 times, once as a full power meet in 2023, and the second time as a bench only meet in 2024. I only competed in bench only because I injured myself 2 weeks out and I wasn't able to squat and deadlift, which was rather unfortunate. However, this will be my comeback. This will be my return to powerlifting, full power meet, and it's gonna be great. My meet is on May 9th. It's gonna be a good old time, and I have committed to a 12-week prep. This is the longest prep that I have done so far. I've done 2 strongman competitions. Both times were kind of just, hey, let's give her a shot. You know, no real specialty programming, no real crazy goals, I guess. A few weeks out, just said, fuck it, let's do it. But this will be different. I will make actual goals. I will make actual gains. I will make progress. And maybe, just maybe, I will be considered an intermediate powerlifter. Right now, here are my current PRs. They've kind of been like this for a while, for a little over a year. Haven't really gained much, but you know, whatever. My main goals of this meet is to deadlift 500. That's the big one. I would like to squat 400 in competition. And, you know, if I could bench any more than 250, I would be very surprised. My bench is horrible. I kind of have a insanity goal of trying to achieve a 1,200 pound total. That would be really sick, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, enough yapping. Let's just get into this week's powerlifting. So the program I'm running is 4 sessions a week. I have notes written down for each session. I've journaled everything. First session, it was squat focused. And boy, was I not prepared for this. It's embarrassing to admit, but it was a high volume week. And not gonna lie, the squats kind of cooked me. I did 225 for 2 sets of 10. And then I did 255 for 2 sets of 8. My legs were pretty shot after that. I'm not used to doing such high volume, which, you know, I probably should have prepared more for. After squats, I did a 5x10 on chest supported rows. The first session, I don't think I went heavy enough. It was definitely challenging, but I think I could have added a few more pounds. So it was all right. It was all right. Nothing crazy though. After chest supported rows was front squats. Now, not gonna lie, my legs were already kind of cooked by the end of regular squats, so I went super light with front squats. I also haven't done front squats in quite a while, so I just decided I'll just do 135 and do a 4x4 and just kind of feel it out. You know, just kind of feel it out. I think my best front squat was maybe 250. I'm not too sure, but I don't really train front squats all that much. So I wanted to kind of go into it light. One thing I did notice was my wrist mobility has deteriorated. I used to be able to get all 4 fingers in that front rack position. Now I was like slipping. I had like 2 fingers on, and I think that'll come back, but it was kind of surprising to me. After front squats, I did close grip bench. Honestly, it was fine. Enough said. And at the end of session 1, I finished out with a superset of lat pull downs, reverse hyperextensions, and dumbbell shoulder press. Session 2 went pretty well. It was a deadlift focused, and it was deadlift and bench focused, I'd like to say. We start off with pause deadlifts. It was 5x4 with 285 pounds. Haven't done pause deadlifts in a while, and it kind of shows. My positioning is a little goofy. The timing and where I'm pausing was not super consistent. I know some people want to pause right after they break it off the floor, and some people want to pause like right below the knees. I wasn't really consistent in where I was pausing, so that's something I definitely want to work on. And I think I'm going to just keep pausing right off the floor because that seems to be the best. After my pause deadlifts, I did some regular deadlifts. I did 315 for a few more sets of 4. 5 sets of 4 with the pause deadlifts surprisingly gassed me out, even though it wasn't an insane amount of weight. So finishing off with, I think I did like 3 or 4 sets of 4 with 315. I was cooked, and my thumbs were really hurting. I pull hook grip, and if anyone pulls hook grip, you understand it kind of hurts. And after doing it for a long time, it hurts even more. So I'm thinking about using straps, but I'm not convinced. I'm not totally convinced. You can't use straps in powerlifting. Might as well just deal with it. After my deadlifts, I did bench press. 2x10, 2 sets of 10 with 155 pounds, pausing the last few reps. I then moved on to 2x8, 2 sets of 8 with 175, again pausing the last few reps. And this went well. I think I'm more accustomed to higher volume on pressing movements than I am on squats or deadlifts. After bench press, I finished off with another superset. These are all my accessories, and I've kind of just been doing supersets just to save on time. So I did a superset, 3 sets of 10 with tricep pushdowns, cable curls, and lat pull downs. Session 3, squats again. Yippee. My quads definitely felt sore from that first session. That first session, I was pretty wrecked for a few days. I kind of messed about, and I opted out of doing 2 sets of 10 because my legs were really hurting, and I instead did 6 sets of 4 to give myself a little extra rest in between sets. Like I said in the first session, the chest supported rows, I did up the weight a bit, and it felt good. It felt at a manageable weight, where at the 5th set of 10, I was feeling it a lot, which is what I wanted. Front squats went well. Again, I think I kept it the same weight. But when I was doing those front squats, and I was just like praying for them to be over, that's when I really realized, man, I should have accustomed myself to higher volume before going into this. So, live and learn, I guess. I don't know. After that, once again, close grip bench press. My legs were kind of flaring up again, which was interesting. I guess it shows that I'm using good leg drive if I can really feel my legs burning when I bench press. So I think that's a good thing, but it was definitely surprising. Other than that, it went well. And then, as per usual, I finished off the 3rd session with reverse hyperextensions, lateral raises, and lat pull downs. This was by far the worst session of the week. I believe I did this after a 12-hour shift, and I was kind of tired, and I was also just sore, and I probably should have given myself an extra day of rest, but whatever. It worked fine. It worked well. Get out! And finally, session 4, last session of the week. Deficit deadlifts. 285, 5x4. Not too sure if I prefer deficits over paused. I think I'm going to continue this prep by doing a little bit of both, at least for the first couple of weeks. But it went well. Once I got to my regular deadlifts, I did a 4x4 with 315 again. Once again, my thumbs were hurting a lot. However, didn't really feel as much leg pain as I thought I would. I thought I'd be really sore, but I think I gave myself enough proper rest and I felt great. So it went super well. Up next was bench press. Same as last time, 155 for 2 sets of 10 and then 2 sets of 8 with 170. Pausing the last couple reps. This bench press session felt a lot worse than the first big bench press session. Not too sure why. Maybe it's just soreness or something. I don't know, but I felt a little weaker, which was odd. I'm not too sure why. Then finally finished off with a 3x10 superset of tricep push downs, cable curls, and lat pull downs. So overall, volume freaking hurts, dude. I definitely should have accustomed myself to higher volume, and I think the volume's going to start tapering down. Obviously, 12 weeks isn't long enough to do a full like hypertrophy block, but it definitely started off with just a shitload of volume. And I think it's going to start tapering off now, and the weights are going to start going up, which will be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited about this contest, man. I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it because I want to do well at it, but I think that's good. And the thing I'm most nervous about, though, is flubbing this program. Like I said on session 3, I kind of messed around a little bit just because I was sore. But I don't want to screw this program up and end up screwing my prep up, later down the road. Which is why I think this will help. If I document it, if I take notes, I think that will help a lot. But yeah, overall, feeling good. I'm ready for this week. My first session of week 2 will be tomorrow, so I'm hype. I'm thinking about putting in 2 grip days a week, totally separate from my powerlifting prep, and kind of documenting that, because that'll be a little more experimental and just kind of messing about. I don't really have any contests in grip coming up. I think there's going to be one it's either June or July, and then there's going to be King Kong at the end of the year, which is kind of the big one I want to actually do well on. But other than that, we just got to lock in on this powerlifting thing, man. We just got to do well. We got to hit those numbers. I really want to PR on my deadlift and hopefully my squat. My bench, I don't really care enough about bench, to be honest. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching.
We gon' serenade, it's a rally on tape.